Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X-Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X-Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X-Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X-Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. The Imagine More Success radio show is a hot new all about you show with successful entrepreneurs and business experts who are sharing their stories and their powerful takeaways while providing you with the tips, tools, and tactics, as well as a free weekly gift to help you thrive. Your hosts for the Imagine More Success radio show are the best-selling author Cindy Hendricks, who's a certified business consultant, and Thomas Hyde's a certified world-class public speaking coach. Be sure to check out Imagine More Success radio show at imaginemoresuccess.net, where you can find previous episodes with some really wonderful guests. And now it's the time for you to realize your dreams and to imagine more success. Welcome to the show today. If you have been thinking about the holidays and you're feeling a little bit of dread, or you're feeling like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to see so-and-so this next week, or there's someone else I'm going to have to encounter over the holidays I'm not prepared to deal with, this might be a really wonderful show for you. The holidays are quite often a time when there is a lot of wonderful feelings in the air. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful time of the year in lots of the country, or else you're snowbound. But for a lot of people, there's a real fear around the holidays because their lives don't look like a Norman Rockwell painting. And maybe you're having that same experience. And if you think that most people have a Norman Rockwell, beautiful Americana, happy home life experience every single year, then we're here to let you know that that's not actually the norm. And we've got someone here today who is an expert in helping you find love again in your life and helping you find a place in your life so that you feel safe to love again. And his name is Dr. Gary Salyer. Dr. Gary is actually a master transformational relationship mentor who helps people rewrite their rules for love inside their brains and inside their hearts. Dr. Salyer speaks to a national audience as a featured expert in a various celebrity TV and radio shows such as Hay House Radio, which is a favorite of mine. And his life purpose is to change a generation's fate with love. Cindy, you've had some wonderful time to spend with Dr. Gary, and so have I. Has his work made a difference in your life?
Well, I think that his work has made a difference in all of our listeners because I can hear the aha moments happening as we speak.
Yes, I would have to agree with that. Dr. Gary's got a really fascinating, in-depth way at looking at some of the barriers that the average person has towards finding love in their life and inviting it in. And we're really happy to have him on today. So I want to go ahead and welcome him on to the show. Dr. Gary Salyer, welcome. Great to have you back.
Welcome, and thank you, Cindy and Thomas. This is our third go-around, and I am fired up to be here today.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, I think that we could talk about love for a very long time.
I want to let you know very early on that someone no less than Dr. John Gray, who is the best-selling author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, had this to say about Dr. Gary's book. If you have ever lost hope for love, this is the book to read. And that book is Safe to Love Again by Dr. Gary Salyer, How to Release the Pain of Past Relationships and Create the Love That You Deserve. Dr. Gary, from the very top, tell us a little bit about what real love is and what most people's experience with real love is.
Well, those are two very different things, what real love is and then what our experience is, Thomas. Real love, it actually, most people think of real love and they have these big pictures. But real love happens in the little tiny moments. Those are the moments. And it's about real love is about the feelings we give to each other. I know that might sound kind of new agey, but our brain's wired to get 4 consistent feelings when we are in a relationship with anybody. And do we feel welcomed with joy? Do we feel worthy and nourished to reach out for our needs, which means that we can reach out our hands and they will respond congruently, and it's okay to take? Are we feeling cherished and protected, which means we get to be me, we get to go out, explore, do our work, but come back to the safe port of somebody else's heart, and that we know we will be treasured and appreciated and honored, cherished and protected. And the 4th feeling that tells us that we're loved is empowered with choice. Do we have a say? Do we get a will? And that we get to have, both of us have to have get our wins. If we are feeling welcomed and worthy and cherished and empowered, chances are we're feeling pretty loved in a relationship. But if any of them are missing, we're probably thinking, gosh, there's something I'm missing here. 2, and you're probably thinking, what's my best friend's therapist number? And at 3 or 4, you're in a toxic relationship. So it's these 4 feelings that make us feel loved. And as you well know, at least 50% of the population, we know from attachment science, isn't good at either receiving or giving these feelings. So,
well, can you repeat that again, Dr. Gary? What was that?
We know from attachment research, that's the science of how our brains are wired to love and be loved, that 50% of the population are not real good at either giving or receiving these 4 feelings. So,
50%.
Well, that summarizes the divorce rate right there, Gary.
Isn't that interesting?
That is extraordinarily interesting.
Yes, 50% of our population are securely attached. It means they're really good at giving and receiving. They expect to be relied upon, and they rely upon others. About 25% are anxious and 20% are avoidant. The anxious the people are always afraid, when does love go away? They're often the people pleasers of the world who don't often feel very worthy. When is love going to go away? And then there's the avoidants who are afraid of being depended on, and they are always having a flight response. They're often not good at all 4 feelings. They're not good at, especially at welcome or cherishing, and oftentimes empowering too. So it's interesting. These feelings actually do make the world go round for relationships.
Now, that's all relationships or just romantic relationships?
All relationships, especially, they go up several notches when you say romantic, right? But if you think about even business relationships, if you walk into a room and somebody says, glad you're here for the meeting, Cindy. We got some notes over here. Or somebody just ignores you and you say, hey, do I have any notes? Hold up, I'm making this text here. I'll get back to you in a few minutes. I guarantee,
which one do you think?
welcome with joy is not being, and you're not feeling good about the second.
Really,
and we're not even talking the Thanksgiving table yet.
It's got to be welcome with joy with a little gravy on top, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are staggering statistics, Gary.
Yeah, they are. And my job in the world is to see if we can get that 50% up of secure a few notches. I sometimes wish I could get it to 90%, but I don't walk on water. So, but as much as I can do.
Gary, tell me for a moment here, why is it important for people to feel loved?
Well, we were born to feel loved. That anybody that's got a mammal brain, and we all do, we are born with expectations of certain experiences. We have what's called expectant behavior in our brains. And we expect to be a mother to hold us, to welcome us with joy. We expect for someone to congruently reach out for our needs, which is worthy. These are lifetime needs. We are always expecting them. If we were reptiles, we could go off into the world and do our own thing forever. That's what, But if we have a mammal brain, and all of us do, that brain was said, we live best when we are connected, when we are supported. Human beings did not survive because we're really great and intelligent as a species. It's because we had each other's back. Somebody loved us enough to protect us and notice that aardvark coming at us.
So, Gary, what do you think the reason is that only half of the people have these 4 things going on and the other half don't? What's the big difference?
Well, the big difference is usually, I think there's 2 things. There's the childhood history, which is a big predictor, but there's also culture. Culture is not real supportive of really great relationships. But for most people, between 0 and 3, based on the experience we have with caretakers, parents, we are giving what I discuss in the book. These 4 feelings come from what I call 6 rights. We get templates for the experience we're allowed in life. So since we're allowed, they're like permission slips. I call them rights. And one of them is, do I have a right to exist? Is it okay to be in my body, to be here in the now, in the present, not off in my head or out in the spirituality land, but to be both in my head and in my body at the same time, to be in the world. That comes when we are given the feeling welcomed with joy. Now, there's also the little baby, and it tracks into adulthood too. They make bids for attention. More bids as a baby, we'll admit that. And if we respond congruently, and even if we get it wrong, we make an effort to get it right again, because no parent gets it right all the time, then the baby feels worthy and nourished. Then they get a right to have their needs met, instead of just being, people pleasers. Now,
Dr. Garrett, we want to hold up right there for a moment. We have to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get back into the 6 rights that affect people's ability to have love in their life and to feel love with Dr. Gary Salyer, who is the Master Transformational Relationship Mentor you've been hearing from today on the show. If you want to check out some past episodes of the Imagine More Success show, go to imaginemoresuccess.net. If you want to check out some of our courses, go to findhiddenmoney.com. Do stick around. We'll be back in just a moment with the Imagine More Success radio show.
It's hard to listen to the news without realizing we're living in volatile, unprecedented times. Yet never has there been such an opportunity to transform the human condition. As old structures fail, where can we find the guidance to co-create a better way? Find Your Path Home is an ever-evolving, leading-edge information, education, and healing resource center designed to support and guide you on your path to unity and enlightenment. Based on sound principles employed by shaman worldwide, we provide techniques that can support you through the current transitions, offering online shamanic classes, international long-distance shamanic healing sessions, complimentary Mission Evolution radio episodes and Stairway to Heaven TV vignettes, seminars, retreats, and much more. All of this can be found on findyourpathhome.com.
So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me. simultv.com, sonny boy.
simultv.com.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
simultv.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. simultv.com.
Shamanic healing is the key to personal empowerment. Why? All 4 levels of our being, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, must be addressed for us to enjoy balanced, healthy, abundant lives. Yet there are few provisions for spiritual or energetic healing. Shamanism, found at the root of all cultures, is a very effective spiritual healing modality. To find quality shamanic healing you can trust, regardless of where you live, look no further than Find Your Path Home long-distance shamanic healing program. All Path Home long-distance healing practitioners have been trained and certified through Path Home Shamanic Art School. Change your life. Live abundantly. Schedule a long-distance shamanic healing session with Gwilda Wiyaka or one of her quality practitioners today at findyourpathhome.com.
Welcome back to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. In our previous segment, we were hearing from Dr. Gary Salyer, who's a master transformational relationship mentor. He helps people to rewrite their rules for love, both in their brains and in their hearts. He speaks to national audiences as a featured expert, as well as on various celebrity TV and radio shows, including Hay House Radio. Dr. Gary, in the previous segment, you walked us through actually 4 of the feelings associated with love, which is feeling welcomed with joy, worthy and nourished, cherished and protected, and empowered with choice. When we left you in the last segment, you were talking about the 6 rights that human beings enjoy. Can you review the first 2 again and continue on with them?
Yes. We were given a right to exist early on, and that comes when we were given a feeling of welcome with joy. We also have a right to reach out to have our needs met, and that comes when we're given a feeling of worthy and nourished. Now, the third right that comes on, and that's when the little baby becomes a toddler. You know, they're separating, and they notice for the first time, gosh, mom's over there and I'm over here, dad's over there. I must be separate. I'm a self. They get to be a me for the first time. But babies know they're vulnerable. They need backup. You know how babies want to cry every time you leave the room. They don't want you playing with their toys, but they don't. They want to make sure you're in the room. They want to know they're part of a we. So this is a Goldilocks. I get to be a me in a supportive, empowering we. Now, this affects so many couples later on. If the template is, oh, I don't want to belong part of that we, that was dangerous over there, then these are people that grow up to say, well, it's really about me and it's about them, and we have a partnership, but it's not about really being we, or they're in a relationship. And then there's the ones that are so afraid of the we going away that they're enmeshed, and the person feels, totally, feeling like they can't have any me time in a relationship. So this is really important. It comes when a baby is given the feeling cherished and protected. It means you go out, explore, come, and you go to your 9 to 5 and come back to the waiting arms of somebody who says, let me hear about your day. That's cherished and protected. The right to separate and belong, both at the same time. Then there's a right to create your own experience, and the right to assert. These come in at the same time around age 2. Both of them give you the feeling, or come from the feeling, empowered with choice. The only difference, when you have a right to create your experience, it means you're good with all of you. Good, bad, strong, weak. And you can create that interior experience, and it's okay to be fully human. But then there's the external part of power. We want to be able to extend that experience onto reality. And so do we have a right to assert? Do we have a right to have our wins? Do we have a right to have a voice and choice, empowered with choice? And then the sixth right comes on about age 3. It's a right, I call it the right to love and be loved. It's simply the brain adds and says, was I welcomed, worthy, cherished, and empowered? If you get all 4, says, wow, I'm lovable. I have a right to love and be loved. But if you didn't get all 4 of those feelings and all those rights, then some part says, well, I must not be lovable. Or it goes the other way. I have a right to love, but not to really give it back. So you add up these 6 rights that come from these feelings: right to exist, to have your needs met, to separate and belong, to create your own experience, to assert, the right to love and be loved. If you get all 6, you have a secure love style. And you become the 50% that pretty much chooses and creates really good, stable. If you didn't get all 6 of those rights and all 4 of those feelings, then some part opts for either anxious or avoidant. Either a fight to lock it down, and you fight a little too much and it drives people away, or you have a flight response and people feel like they can't have a true relationship with you. And they become the 50% of the population that usually wind up in the divorce courts. You can understand why now.
Yeah, what really was shocking to me about what you just said is that those 6 rights are established by the time you're 3 years old. And so people, I think, have this idea that they have tremendous choice in their life, when some of these things are obviously, I don't know if they're subconscious, but they're based upon things from times in your life you don't even have a memory of.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And we will also say later experience can affect it. I've had clients that they had really good, loving relationships, but if something happened at 15, they were abducted or something like that, or sometimes, every once in a while, a secure person can create a marriage that with someone they got fooled with. That can affect. So later experience counts, but for the most part, these templates, these rights get set 0 to 3 for everyone. And when we restore them, even if you're anxious or avoiding, you're part of that 50%. I'm twice divorced. I had like 4 of those templates that were missing from my childhood, but you can restore them. And when you restore them, you get a full right to love and be loved. Relationships go a lot better when you've got all cylinders firing.
The thing that I love about the way you explain this, you talk about as far as like rights and the ability to have them restored. And while people have these things as a part of their birthright, it doesn't always mean that they get them, but it doesn't mean that they can't get them either. I think it offers tremendous hope, because I think a lot of people do feel hopeless.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There is an epidemic out there, Thomas, of both unworthiness and hopelessness. And they kind of go together. There's so many things out there. The divorce rate is one. Man, I'm not really worthy of love, or I would have kept that marriage. Or if you're single, you get all the ghosting, and online, there's all these little compatibility lists. And how many people can say, gosh, I'm 6'2", I work at Pilates, I read Dostoevsky,
Yeah, not that many people, right?
And it's a long list, yoga and everything. And so when we start looking and being looked at, we go, gosh, do I add up everything there? I don't know about that. Am I worthy of love? And this is what's creating a lot of the ghosting. Somebody gets a really good potential partner, and they can, I wonder if there's someone better out there. Gosh, I got 50 of my 65 points on my checklist, but I think I can get those other 50.
50 out of 65, right? I should laugh, because I've heard people say things like that with all seriousness. And yeah.
Well, I think it's curious that you can look at your list of rights and go back over in your mind of some of your relationships, and you can really kind of see where they failed.
Oh, absolutely. When I'm working with couples, I work with singles and couples, Cindy. Oftentimes I use this as, I have a little one-page thing where I ask them to rank 1 to 10, how welcomed with joy do I feel in this relationship? And if you're out there in the audience, just if you're single, think about your last couple of relationships, or if you're in one now, if you're a couple in the relationship, 1 to 10. How welcome with joy do you feel? 1 to 10.
I think that would be a real tough thing to do with your partner sitting next to you if you were in a challenging relationship, though.
Yeah, well, the thing is it's pretty basic, and they already know what's missing, and once you can isolate that, I pretty much have an idea what their patterns are going to be. I really can. If they've said 1 to 10, on welcome, how worthy they feel, how cherished and empowered, you can pretty much get a feeling for what skills they're not good with each other, but more importantly, the missing rights, because couples always choose the experience they have the rights for. If she's missing, I say she has no right to belong. She came up in a family with abusive family, so she's separated. She's longing for belonging. She'll find someone that's not good, one way or another, at giving her belonging. Because she doesn't have rights for it. He, on the other hand, say he felt disempowered, right? So when he doesn't respond and choose, and because he has no right to give her a feeling of empowered, then she gets all honked off and then makes him feel disempowered. And so he creates or chooses someone who give him the rights he has for. Every couple chooses their partner for their missing rights and then complains bitterly about it.
Match made in heaven.
Sounds fascinating.
And
really fascinating.
The thing is, if you can get them to realize they actually married each other, some part was seeking safety. It was safer not belonging or safer not being empowered. It's hard to believe that, but at one time that was the best deal. And then they can say, thanks to the brain for getting all that safety, even if it's painful, and how do we create something different? And the other thing is to show them this is the pattern. You both got it naturally. But what's even better is now we can become a team, and to stop making the partner wrong, but the pattern wrong. Now, instead of making each other wrong, they are a team as a couple working on the pattern. This is liberating for most couples.
I can see that, especially on number 3, where you get to be me, but you're part of a we, would be really, really fruitful for when there is a jealous partner in the mix.
Oh, yes. Jealousy is, and usually they're wanting that belonging at all costs. And they're usually anxious, they want a right to separate. And that's a violation of the rules. You've got to have some right to separate. Now, if they've been in a relationship where there's been cheating, this gets to be a very interesting dance to reconstruct a healthy we. But it can be done. I've worked with many couples and done that. It's a little trickier when there's been cheating. I'll grant you that.
Well, Dr. Gary, when we come back in the next segment, we're going to talk about that very topic because it's a fascinating topic, and I'm assuming that it brings about a whole new set of circumstances, challenges, as well as tools out of your toolbox that you get to use to help a couple in their relationship. We do want you to stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to hear more from Dr. Gary Salyer. We're going to hear more about your right to love and how you can feel safe to love again, and how he wants to change an entire generation's fate with love. So do stay tuned to the Imagine More Success radio show. We'll be back in just a moment.
Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
You are back on the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We've been talking with Dr. Gary Salyer today. We've hit on all sorts of topics and points about love today. In this segment, we're actually going to kind of skip around a little bit. We had a topic we were going to jump into, but I want to get back to the holidays. Dr. Gary, this is a rough time of the year for a lot of people. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. There's tons of studies to show it.
Got the evidence. Perfect.
Yes.
What do you find is a big point of anxiety that people have around meeting up with family members that they haven't seen for most of the year in a very kind of high stress environment like the holidays?
Well, yes, there's a lot of anxiety. I mean, it's like, imagine, I've had clients that every time they went back and visited mom or mom came to visit in the regular part of the year, they would always schedule a session within 2 days afterwards just to do the repair, right? Imagine what that's like. Now, well, I have a theory about the holidays, and that the holidays, just due to cultural expectations and that which funnels down in most families, are like an amplifier of emotions. They are emotional. The holidays is this huge, big end of the year amplifier. And it's just like in radio with a signal. Now, if you walk in and there's negative emotions, guess what gets amplified? If you walk in with positive, guess what gets amplified? So it's like and so the holidays can be wonderful Currier and Ives, Norman Rockwell, Hallmark moments, right? But if there's anything negative, like a downer of a relationship or a breakup or whatever it is, or you're single and you're in a city for the first time, or you just don't have a relationship yet, whatever that is, whatever those feelings are, they'll get amplified. And you have to kind of watch that this amplification is not real. But when we take it as reality and we start taking it into ourselves, it really, holidays can be the world's greatest thing, but they also can betray our emotional needs because they amplify the wrong things just as well.
Dr. Gary, do you recommend that your clients actually take time to kind of set their intention and create a loving, kind of joyous part of them and bring it with them to the holiday experience?
I do. But one of the things that when I'm working with someone on the holidays is I want them, you kind of have to dethrone the holidays if they're in a negative experience pattern, right? You can't just suddenly bring in, let's look at it. Whenever you see a Hallmark card, it's people around a heart and they're smiling and everything, and that just doesn't always happen. So you have to let them realize, in many respects, this is just another day. How can we use this time to prepare for love on the other side? I mean, one of the things I'm thinking is this is a perfect time in December to be thinking about how do I get ready for Valentine's Day so I can get the love then, or whenever, we do the healing. So what you want to do is kind of dethrone the holidays so that it doesn't become a set of expectations that can rip you apart. That's not a right to create your own experience. Culture is telling you it's okay to feel sad, but just because you don't have that perfect relationship doesn't mean you're less of a human being. And you just have to keep that in mind about the holidays. There have been times, can I share a personal story about that?
Oh, please do. Yes, of course.
I used to sit around after my first divorce, and I was so bitter that I used to get a phobic response at the holidays.
Okay.
Like, oh no, I'm going to be alone, right? And I can still remember in the negative cycle, I remember I had like one Christmas, $6 to my name. And I couldn't afford a tree for my son to come over, and I did spend about $50 on gifts for him. And I was angry at the universe. I was going through a divorce. I couldn't have a tree. And then I walk into this gas station, get a cup of coffee at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I see this Christmas tree. And I said, hey, would you take $3 for that? And the guy said, somebody dropped it off, right?
Oh, wow.
And I got it for free. And I can still remember thinking, oh, I feel so much better. And I thought, why would a tree make it any better when my son's coming over? And I was grateful and challenged by the universe at the same time. Fast forward, later on after I've done my work, if there was a year that I didn't have somebody during the holidays, then you know what I started to doing? Once I felt worthy, instead of running this anti-worthy campaign, I'm not worthy for anything, I would find friends or somebody in the community that was down on their luck economically, and I would buy them. I remember a couple of years I bought trees and Christmas ornaments and lights so that people could not have that experience. I became, and you can then, and that was the Christmas joy. I could practice feeling worthy by giving worthiness.
That's incredible.
I love
absolutely love that. I do too. I mean, you want to talk about a poignant story when you said that you questioned why would having a tree make you feel better when your son was going to be coming over. It just, that touched me very deeply, because it's so true. Sometimes we're so caught up in what we think something should be like instead of being grateful for the beautiful parts of it.
Exactly. What if we focused on the gifts of the season that are there? And there's always some there, the friend that still, I'm going through divorce or whatever, but the friends that still call you, if we think about Christmas, and we have all those expectations, we're supposed to have a Macy's tree, in the little living room. How we're going to get in, we don't know, but there's always a hole up to the second floor, and that's not true.
Well, one of the things I've realized, Gary, about the worthiness piece is that we don't realize how important and impactful that we have been on other people's lives. And things happen that way when you talk to a longtime friend that you haven't talked to for a while, and they share something that you said or did for them, and it just blows you away because you didn't have any idea of the impact you had on their life. And I think if we just know that there are people out there that feel that way about each one of us, then that's going to be a huge piece of discovering our own worthiness.
It is. And this gets back to a little point when you talked about hopelessness. There's always more available in our life than what our brains allow us to see and notice when we are feeling unworthy or uncherished. It's there, but we just don't see it. And it's not that it's not there, it's just that we don't see it.
Exactly. Now, I have a question for you, Gary. If I decided to have Thanksgiving on Wednesday instead of Thursday this week, does that mean that I have dethroned the holiday just a little bit?
I think that's a right to create your own experience. If that works, fine. I've done that before. I literally I know that I had a daughter-in-law who, because of Black Friday and being in retail, she had a really, really hard time with Thursday because they wanted her on Thursday. Get ready for Black Friday. Thank you. Talk about the Grinch that stole Thanksgiving. It's called Black Friday.
Black Friday, right.
Yeah.
So, hey, Wednesday night's fine. Let's just bring over that turkey. It'll cook just as well.
Well, that's what I did this year, and I'm really excited about it because that means that you can spend Thanksgiving any way you want to.
Well, it is Thursday somewhere in the world.
If we stop and think about holidays, the holidays are designed, at least on some theoretical level, to give you the opportunity to stop, to focus on that one particular thing. Thanksgiving for us is stopping to be grateful. And you can do that anytime, any day of the week, any day of the year. It's just that most people don't necessarily do that. And we do have a holiday that surrounds that as an event. But that's something that you can do every single day or any day. It doesn't matter whether it's on Thanksgiving or if you have your turkey 2 weeks early. What's really important is taking the time to stop and pay attention and to have that experience.
Yes, and there's another big thing here about the holidays. If you notice, they're mostly about family. Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, a lot of family stuff. This gets right into the right for separate and belong. When, if something's going on where we don't have a full right to belong, our attachment systems, our brain is having, I don't belong, and it just amplifies that. But what if you walk in feeling the right to belong, and when you feel the right, when you feel cherished and protected, if circumstances aren't perfect, the feeling comes with you, and the holiday doesn't have anything negative to amplify. These rights give you the ability, these feelings give you the ability to go through the holidays without all the drag if things aren't perfect. That's the cool thing about all this, because they're all about belonging. And let's face it, nobody is going to have perfect setup for their families and belonging 100% of the time. Holidays there'll always be some holiday that sucked.
That's so true. Absolutely. Well, when we come back, we're going to continue some more of our conversation with Dr. Gary, who's given us some tremendous insights today on how you can feel fantastic and feel loved and bring love into the holidays and every single day of the year. We want to, again, thank you for joining us, Dr. Gary. When we come back in the next segment, we're going to have you back. You are going to be giving away an amazing free gift for the listeners. So we do ask you to stay tuned to the Imagine More Success radio show.
If you are looking for a safe, zero-calorie natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for. Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, The 70-Year Cover-Up Exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X-Zone, Sci-Fi, and Horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world, interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hides can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hides' life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking.
Thanks for sticking with us today on the Imagine More Success radio show. We've been having a really wonderful interview today with Dr. Gary Salyer. He is a transformational relationship mentor, and he helps people to rewrite the rules for love in their lives, both in their brains and in their hearts. He's done some amazing work with us today. He has a fantastic book that Dr. John Gray, who is the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, said, if you have ever lost hope for love, this is the book to read. It's called Safe to Love Again, How to Release the Pain of Past Relationships and to Create the Love That You Deserve. Dr. Gary, you have an amazing, wonderful free gift for the listeners today. Please go ahead and share that with them.
Okay, well, if you go to my website, GarySalyer.com, that's GarySalyer.com, scroll down just a little bit, it'll say Love Inspirations. And there you can sign up for a bunch of short 2 to 4 minute videos that are practical advice. Some of them cover things from the book. It's for singles and couples. It really like 2 minutes of practical inspirations and advice. You'll also see John Gray, Ariel Ford. They have their little snippets there of beautiful wisdom. One couple even said that what they learned about relationships saved their engagement in their 50s, and they're married now because of them. So a lot of good. Well, yeah.
Dr. Gary, there is a term that you use in your book where you call these rights and the feelings the GPS for love. Tell us a little bit about that conceptually.
Okay, GPS for love. Gets back to what we said something about the singles. Okay, especially, and also it could be used for couples too. But say singles go out there and they go on Tinder or Bumble, or they go on Match.com or whatever it is, and they fill out this long list of preferences, compatibility list, and they use that to say, is this right? Is that person right? This is the research knows it does not predict lasting. Compatibility is not what it is. But imagine if instead of these long lists that we're told is the answer, you got to get your vision boards up and running, what if it were paying attention to these 4 feelings that tell you you're loved? This is your new GPS for love. Notice how you feel. Do I feel welcomed with joy, worthy and nourished, cherished and empowered, cherished or empowered? Now, the way this looks like, I had a client came to me, first session, they were single, and says, I just want to tell you, I found Mr. Jack. I'm always interested in Mr. Jack Thomas. Oh my God. My God, he was 6'2", good looking, did Pilates, and had read some of he knew the love languages by Gary Chapman. Oh my God. And he'd done therapy. And he did Pilates. Did I say he did Pilates?
Yeah, right. Yes.
He was a doctor. Okay, great.
Wow.
So about three sessions later, she comes in. She goes, "I'm so upset." I go, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, Mr. Right. Yeah, Pilates. He just checks out the other women."
Pilates or the hunting grounds. Call it whatever you like.
The guy hit all the checklists. No. Did she feel cherished and protected? Not really, So and what's her 2 major missing feelings? She never felt worthy. She never felt cherished and protected, right?
And she was totally empowered in a different direction.
Exactly.
Well, she didn't have much choice, really.
Later on, when we restored these feelings, where now her brain and her whole body says, I am worthy, I am cherishable, and I am empowered. She goes back online again. We restore these feelings. And now she's using these feelings. And she gets 2 guys. Mr. Lottery, a second guy, almost the same clone, except he's an attorney this time. My God, he's an attorney, right? And
I like to argue a little bit.
He did meditation instead. Oh my, did I say he meditated? Okay. And then she met this guy, decent enough looking guy. He showed up in a Hawaiian t-shirt, had a good job in IT, about 20 pounds overweight, but he made her feel like a queen. And she looked at them and she goes, I'm going with the one that makes me feel like a queen. I love feeling worthy and cherishable. This is the difference between using compatibility that kept leading her down the wrong path, Mr. Lottery, or do you find Mr. Love?
Gosh, that sounds like the road I was on when I met my wonderful husband. But what is it about these guys that they think that they can put on a front and that we never see who they really are? What is that about, Gary?
Well, usually what you're talking about are avoidance, right? And avoidants are afraid of being their worst nightmares being in a committed relationship. But they have just enough attachment needs like the rest of us. They need to have some attention. So they know they're going to get seen and spotted out, but they're going to get just enough hit of attention, maybe even a little sex, that it will support them. And they've toned down their attachment needs, so they're not looking for lasting. Being seen ain't the problem. It's just having a few hits of attention and sex here and there so that they can keep going. That's the truth.
Fascinating.
If they had full rights, they would want far more, but they settle for what rights they're given.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Gary, earlier you mentioned that it is possible that once there's a relationship and there's been cheating in the relationship, it's possible to bring love back into it. Talk to us a little bit about some of the challenges that are faced in that scenario.
Okay, that's a good one. Whenever there's been cheating, the one who's been betrayed has PTSD like syndrome. They're always getting flooded because their world was blown up. It's like one day gravity didn't work. And so they get all these flooded feelings, flooded images, and That's normal, but you got to calm that down. And trust is a track record. There is there's 3 stages there has to be what's called atonement. The person has to be genuinely sorry for what they've done. Then there has to be attunement. They have to learn where they missed with each other, right? What missing needs for both of them. Usually when there's been an affair, something was wrong with the marital friendship to begin with. Unless there's something really characterological about the one who's cheating. That's a different animal, okay? And then you can have reattachment. But you've got to work on the foundation, which is the marital friendship that did not allow passion and partnership. And part of the right to love and be loved is the right to have both passion and partnership in the same great package. It's now hopefully not as a 3-year-old, but it allows later on, the real right allows that. It's where people, whenever you hear someone say, why aren't the hot ones and the good ones in the same package? How come you can never find them in the same package? They have a split right to love and be loved. But when you give them back that beautiful right, and they've restored whatever patterns created the disconnect that one felt they could only get it elsewhere, then and really restore the connectors between the two of them as well as the trust. It takes a track record, doesn't happen overnight. Then they can have an even better relationship than they had before.
Wow.
But it has to be Bridge 2.0. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's a huge possibility for something that often ends relationships. That they could be even better. That's incredible.
I had a client that I had worked with. I helped them heal a pretty bad affair. It happened over a period of years, which is even more problematic. And about a year and a half later, the problem was there was no we. Neither of them had a full right to separate and belong in a balanced way. One had more right to belong, one more had right to separate. So they could never get the we down. Once we fixed that, about a year and a half later, I got a phone call from the woman saying, we're on vacation. We just finished a picnic. And, one of my children came up and said, Mommy, you look so much happier than I've ever seen you.
Wow.
And Dad seems so much happier. She goes, and then the little child says, I'm so happy. And she runs away. The children saw it, and she called me and said, this is better than I ever imagined, even before all this.
What a wonderful story, Dr. Gary.
Yeah.
Doctor, we want to thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a tremendous interview. We just loved having you here today. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are wonderful souls. When you guys call and say do an episode, I go, yes.
Awesome. We love it. Thank you for sharing with us today. We do just want to remind you that you have a chance to find Dr. Gary's book. Again, Dr. Gary Salyer, his book is Safe to Love Again, How to Release the Pain of Past Relationships and Create the Love You Deserve. Also, check out his website, GarySalyer.com. Scroll down just a little way there, and you can find his free gift that he has for you. We've had a wonderful time today. We've had a chance to talk about the holidays, Cindy, and we're in preparation for Thanksgiving here in the U.S. For all the fun folks in Canada who've already celebrated, I hope you had a wonderful time as well. It's a really wonderful time of the year for everyone to dial in and to look for the opportunities to create something really wonderful in their life. And we want to encourage you to do the very same thing. If you have a chance, we want you to always realize your dreams, imagine more success. And with us, if you want to check out some past episodes, please go to imaginemoresuccess.net. We have tremendous interviews with some really wonderful interviewees who came onto the show and some great guests. And we also want to encourage you to check out findhiddenmoney.com, where we have some fantastic courses for you to help you increase your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and to get what you want out of life. We look forward to talking to you again soon. See you soon for the Imagine More Success radio show, and happy holidays.